All right, I was just copying my column up. So ideally, I would say that when you see that you decided to show some 3D, this view, try not to show it at the general view. You may want to have some called beam detail in 3D. Create that view before you generate that. All right. If not, sometimes look how messy. See that? Something like suddenly appear here. See now. So actually, how you are going to manage your view. For instance, that day I was happily doing on that view, okay, but didn't realize it. How come my overall model looks kind of messy? So for start, how you going to rectify this? Because sometimes we can be just keep doing, without realizing. Okay, all this no need to delete. You still can manage. Okay, like what I'm doing now. For start, I will duplicate this. Now, when you're duplicating your view, remember, for those that you learn Revit Archi before, yep, you will understand this. For those like your CE class, this is the first Revit software that you are learning. Then, of course, to enable to copy the view, you need to know the tools called duplicate view. You can access via two method or two way. One is from the view tab itself. View tab itself, you'll notice that under the create panel, there is this icon says duplicate view. So with this, I will say it's clearer because you have text and icon to explain, and so does the helping two tips. What's the duplicate view? What is duplicate with detailing? What is duplicate as dependent? So the other method is in your browser or from your browser. You simply point at any plan view. I mean, any view. Then right click. You should able to get the shortcut menu and it says duplicate. But you need to know which one to use. Okay, duplicate view basically means just capture your model. It can be a plan, can be uh, any view. Okay, duplicate view means just your model component. There is no annotation. For instance, what dimension lah, text lah, tagging, all those annotated component. It will not be captured. Okay, duplicate with detailing means your information annotation, all right, will be captured like dimension. It's just a reverse, one with, one without. Okay. As for the last one, dependent, you can see that in 3D you cannot duplicate. All right, I mean based on what you see here. But if you point at the project browser, you are able to select. Currently, you say you can see it gray off. So basically, duplicate as dependent is to for those large drawing or for those plan you prefer to break down into two, but they are still connected. It's just that it's split into two view, but the plan itself as a whole is still treated as one. Okay, so you see the explanation here. When you change any of the view that you copy duplicate based on dependent, when you change the scale, all will be affected. That means one change, the other will also change because internally they are still treated as one view. It's just that you split into two, okay? Because you are managing your model or you're managing your view, okay? But I mean, depends on places and your project size. So these tools normally seldom used in current, world or maybe current situation. Okay, so what I'm going to do now to manage your view, I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, normally I a bit kiasu. Kiasu means what? Be safe than sorry. I prefer to say duplicate with detailing. All right, but when you select from here, you make sure that the view is selected. Because sometimes when you prefer to copy other plan of view, need not to be current. You can point right click like that and you can duplicate straight away. You notice that the bold in text is still my current view and yet I can duplicate fourth story. Okay, so the depends on the application how you want it. Okay, so remember, but meantime, what I'm going to show you is on the 3D because there's some detail. So right click, I will rename this as my 3D model. 3D model. Okay, yeah, enter. Then I would like to have this to be created as my wall rebar or rebar, what do you call that now? What's the tools here? Hold on. Yeah, area. Right, structure reinforcement on wall. So right click, duplicate again with detailing. Then you can see that the graphics change a bit. Is it there? Check, huh? Seems like it's not. This one is there. Hmm, kind of weird. Okay, no need to be weird. I'll explain to you later on. Don't worry. So this one here, I will rename as the uh, rebar detail on wall. Yeah, like that. Okay. And one more, which is this side. Okay. So I duplicate from here because I see where my beam detail. See that? Yeah, which is this one. Okay, this particular piece. So right click, duplicates with detailing. Okay, so I'll rename this is rename rebar detail on beam. Yeah, so later you may want to add on column. Then later I'll show you a better version that they was quickly show it to you. But you, of course, once it's there, you can edit anytime. Okay, questions? If not, then I will proceed. So for start, now, this particular wall here, which is I show, and I only want to see certain thing that is here in this view. So what you're going to do is what? Highlight your view on wall, right? Rotate to here. Just select this piece of wall and you go to here, section box BX shortcut key, so that you present this part only. Because as I said, that day when we show the detail, is only on this. All right, no need to copy in every wall. And you need this to apply. You simply multiply how many wall you have during your schedule. Okay, so from the box here, I believe, yeah, I need to enable my section box because last week I did off it. So unhide element and close it. It should be back. Okay, why? I need to do some simple adjustment so that at least I'm doing at the correct level or adjustment. So it should be clear. So at least you can see clearly the whole piece of wall, not just the partial. Yeah. Okay. I think this view here should be good. It's roughly in the center. Okay. So once done, no any changes, you may want to hide again. So it's under hide and view element. Yeah. If you don't want to use this method, you can use this by element. See that? Don't show. Apply, you'll be gone. So it's up to you. Okay. Now this particular wall here, I believe is higher than my beam. Is there a beam there? Drag, huh? Oh, don't have a good, because I thought the beam is there. So let me undo. Okay, so you can see that my detail here, which is here, the height, it doesn't cover higher than that. See, it's supposed to be at level 2 where the wall stop. Hold on. So, okay, let me drag this alignment. Yep. So, you see, now this guy is lower because of what? Because of the view here. Let me share it side by side. You see the X, the covering of the X here, the view is not high enough. So you can drag this way, or you can actually come to here. It's the same. See, when you select it, you can drag up and down. The arrow, oops, hold on, zoom in. Yeah, you see this? You can drag and come back to here. The view also lower. All right. If you guys can still remember, this is where you captured the face based on the area, then it appear. But subsequently, you can come to here and adjust or do the extension for the detailing. Okay. So take note that. So this is the whole floor. All right, which is have a wall, or I mean the landing all connected. So there should some rebar here also. Yeah, which is we didn't create the detail lah. If you want, you may add it in. It's okay for that. Okay. Now, detail here, you have it. How about this? Simple. Try to select the whole thing inside there, like that. Then do a filter. The filter here purpose is to, I want to capture is the structure rebar, which is being hidden when you duplicate. All right. Why? Because of the view here called view visibility states. Initially is where when you create that, you want the 3D unobstruct view to be appear in which one. So previously I set it as in 3D view, but now I already renamed them. And I only want this rebar to be appear on this rebar detail on wall, which is I'm going to unselect this. You scroll down. Do you have a rebar on wall? 3D view. You see this? The name. Important thing is the view name, which is your project name here. I mean the plan or the view name. So this one is I want it to appear. Yeah. Okay. See that? Now is shown. So if it doesn't appear as in 3D form, you just toggle your detail level. Set fine one more time. It should be appear. Okay. All right. So these two ties together and we are done. So next view, repeat the same thing. So I'm going to go into this called rebar detail on beam. This one here. Okay, double click to launch. So my wall I'm going to close. So I'm going to open up the section beam here. So easy for us to make the selection. Yeah. You find that your text too big, remember, always can play with the adjustment for your text height. So let me set this guy smaller. Yep, I think it should be better in this view. Okay. As for all these details, remember, this stirrup size, is it critical? The size, it should be smaller. This rod here is the main support. It should be bigger. But that day I give it the same size, which is I set it 25. You can set this maybe as hold on, let me see. 25 too huge. I mean too big lah. So let's say I make it the H 10. 10 will do. Smaller. Okay. As the rod here, you can make it bigger. Yeah. Because ours is a warehouse. So it should be bigger. Okay, hold on. Let me start adjusting this. Should be good. Okay. All right. So this particular size here, 32. I don't know whether is can try maximum. I can a bit. I make it biggest, 40 mm. It's super big actually. No need lah. A bit scary. Uh, 32 lah. I leave it just to play with the size. Oops. Hold on. Set 32 back. Okay, like this. So that's the detail. Of course, here also have a detail lah. Okay, so I select this beam, and hopefully in this view here, I'm able to see the beam, yeah, which is there. And straight away, you go to section box or type BX, and you see this only. Okay. So similarly here, go to the bulb, enable the visibility of the section box, unhide element, and close it. Readjust. Make sure some additional view, not partial view, being cropped. Especially is normally you are showing one bin at a time. Yep. So the connection at least is there. Okay. Hold on. Whole beam must be shown. So some visibility details, like for instance, the slab. Okay, you may want to hide the slab. If not, you may want to temporarily adjust the visibility for this slab. Yeah, so that how to adjust? Right click, override graphics in view, element. That means only this view affected. If you set the visibility or the so-called transparency, you put by category all your model affected, which is you don't want. I only want this. Yeah. So my transparent, just a bit will do. No need to be a lot. Yeah. Okay, just a bit. Just to so-called bring out the visibility. See, here might not see everything yet. Okay, so select everything, then filter. You only want the structural rebar. Okay, then apply. Okay, go to your properties palette under the view visibility states, edit, uncheck these two because this is the old name called 3D model. The new one should be rebar detail on beam, which is this. Check both of them. Okay, and you should be able to see them in 3D. If it's still not, please select your detail level, set it to 5. Then it should be okay. Now, the method of laying the stirrup, this is not correct. Why? Because when we talk about engineering calculations, this beam and with slab, the force or the loading actually is on a slab. So when it's too heavy, this beam will be bending. So bending in the sense that here your support must be more, then here lesser, and here must be more back. Okay, later with time I will show you how to do some adjustment. Okay, of course, actual distance don't know yet lah, but engineer will tell you, but not constant space. No, it's not like that. Okay, I just want the view to be generated first. Okay, so I'm going to hide this again. Select, right click, override graphics in view by element, then uncheck the visible. Okay, the last view I want to set is your 3D model, which is I don't want to see everything which is the 3D thing, like here. Don't show it. So I'm going to window, filter, check none, structure rebar, apply, okay. Go to the view visibility states, turn off. You don't want. Sorry. This one is there, is your own 3D view that you don't want. Because now I'm a 3D model, so it's not showing. Good. Okay. All right. It's not showing. It's there, but it's not showing. So it's okay. Same thing here. Is there now? I think it's no. Okay. If it's no, then okay. If it's there, then cannot. Okay. So it's done. So my 3D view here, you don't see any rebar visibility. Okay, you still show a bit at times from far. Okay, another method is not this. You can select, seems like it's still visible because it's too near the wall thickness. What I'm going to adjust here, Right click, override graphics by element. All right, remove this. The structure rebar don't show here. Now should be gone. See, it's not showing. Just now it's still showing. Now I don't want it to show. See from far, for this particular guy, it's also showing. Okay, maybe I do a quick window, filter, rebar, selected, right click, override graphics in view by element, don't show in this 3D. All right, but other view still will not be affected. All right, so remember, once you go to deeper detailing, we call to manage the view. So there's a lot of way you can manage your view, right? All good? Any questions? Anyone? Hmm? Okay now, because I got few things to show it to you, a bit of customization. If no questions, I'll stop recording for this session. I'll make another new recording. Okay now, no questions? Anyone? No? If no, then I'll stop this recording.